All right, your first day of clinicals. I know it can feel like a huge deal, and, well, it is, but it's also this amazing chance to learn. So, we're going to walk through a step by step guide to make sure your first day isn't just something you get through, but a day you absolutely crush. Okay, let's get right into it. We're starting from the very beginning, the second you show up at the facility. Getting your morning started on the right foot, it really sets the vibe for the entire day.
So, the morning routine, we've made it super simple and efficient so you can get ready for the day without any stress. Just get there by 7:30 for the huddle. You'll do a quick temp scan, for everyone's safety. And then we all meet up outside as a group to get our assignments. After that, you just stash your stuff and you're ready to hit the floor and start learning.
And hey, let's be totally clear about that arrival time. It's not just a suggestion, right? Punctuality is literally your first impression. It shows you respect your team, your instructor, and most of all, the residents who are counting on you. The rule is super firm on this one. If you get there after 7:45 a.m., you'll be sent home for the day. Seriously, your professional journey starts with being on time every single time. Okay, so you're in the door. Now what? Let's talk about your mission for the day. As soon as you're checked in and you've got your assignment, that's when the real work and, honestly, the real fun and learning kicks in. For the first few hours, I want you to think of yourself as a sponge. Just soak it all in. You're there to watch and become part of the team. You'll get paired up with an LVN or a CNA, and your whole job is to be their shadow, their right hand. You'll be helping with daily activities, with mobility, just getting a feel for the rhythm of the floor. And trust me, this isn't busy work. It's how you learn the whole vibe of the place. Then, later in the morning, you'll get to hang out with residents in the activity center, which is, by the way, an awesome way to start building connections. Now, this might sound pretty simple, but this quote, it's basically your North Star for this whole rotation. The medication cart is yours. That's a huge statement of trust and responsibility. It means you're not just shadowing anymore. You're stepping up and taking ownership of a really critical piece of nursing care. And that brings us to the medication pass. This is the core skill you're going to master in Term 2. It's the whole shebang, from grabbing the right meds to giving them correctly, all with someone right there guiding you. This is where all that stuff you learned in the classroom, it becomes real. Okay, remember this number, 2. It's probably the most important rule of your entire clinical experience. You will always work in pairs. You are never, ever on your own. Why? Well, two big reasons. First, safety. I mean, two sets of eyes are always better than one when you're learning. And second, support. You'll have someone to bounce ideas off of. So if you have a question, guess who you ask first? Your partner. You guys are a team, and you're going to learn so much more effectively that way. Whew. All this learning takes a ton of energy, right? So let's talk about the rhythm of the day. And, more importantly, when you get to refuel. Knowing the schedule is going to help you pace yourself. So, your day is set up to balance that intense learning with some much-needed breaks. The morning is all about resident care, and that leads right up to an 11 a.m. lunch. But whatever you do, don't sleep on that 1 p.m. post-conference. That debriefing session, that's where the magic really happens. It's your chance to connect all the dots, ask those bigger questions, and share what you figured out with your instructor and the rest of the group. And hey, speaking of lunch, here's a little insider tip for you from students who've been right where you are. There are a bunch of good options nearby, but a hands-down favorite is the Japanese market right across the plaza. I hear they have the best sushi, or tonisu, as someone called it. It's always great to have a go-to spot when you're having a busy day, you know? All right, so you've had lunch, you've refueled. The afternoon is all about shifting gears. We're moving from watching to actually doing. This is where you start building those real hands-on skills. And the way we learn here is a classic for a reason. It works. It's called See One, Do One. For any new skill, let's say giving insulin, you're going to follow this simple two-step process. It's all about making sure you're confident and the patient is safe. So first, you'll watch your instructor or the LVN do the skill, and you can ask all the questions you want. Then, when you feel ready, it's your turn. You'll perform that exact same skill yourself, with them right there watching over you. It's a really safe, supportive way to build real skill. So, what does that look like in the afternoon? Well, you'll be focusing on things like checking residents' blood sugar levels to get ready for insulin administration. This is also the perfect time to start grabbing info for your nurse care plans, your NCPs. So don't be shy. Ask your LVN to help you print out lab results from the computer. The whole point is to practice and ask a ton of questions. Okay, let's start to wrap this up. I want to go over the key things. The secret ingredients, really, for having a successful clinical rotation. Think of this as your final briefing before you head out there.
At the end of the day, your success isn't going to come from one big dramatic moment. It's all about building these 5 solid habits. Show up on time and be prepared. Always work with your partner for safety, for support. Stay curious and ask questions. Seriously, there are no dumb questions here. Take charge of your own learning, especially when it comes to mastering that MedPass. And last but not least, engage. That human connection you make with the residents, that's the real heart of nursing.
Look, this whole experience is all about your growth. So as you get ready to start, I want you to think about this question. It's not just about surviving the day, okay? It's about what you want to achieve. Go in with a goal in mind, and I promise you'll get so much more out of this. Good luck out there.